Well, hello, Magellan Network and Mastermind members. Hope everybody's doing well. And again, for those of you who were in Fort Lauderdale, I want to continue getting everything to you so we can kind of move forward on things. Number one is we are going to now go ahead and get into our quarterly game plan. So this is really the last deliverable in this entire process. So Miles one, Miles two, goal setting, ultimate life and lifestyle, 5-year plan, 1-year plan, all the marketing, branding, business development plan, all that now gets sucked into this document. So I'm going to work on the premise that this is being put together for Q1 of 2020, the new decade. So you'll go ahead and just kind of put it in there as you need to, right? So we'll keep life simple here. Just go 1/1, 2020, and then whatever. I think it's what 331 or something like that. I don't even know. So you go ahead and just kind of put that in there. Three, dash 31 dash 2020 or whatever the dates are that you're going to use. Could you use this in a monthly? Could you get rid of the word quarterly and create a nice tight 30-day program? You could. Our process is 90 days, so I'm going to walk through it. Also, before I get into how to fill this out, this is just kind of a what I call the base chassis. You can modify this, find information, rewrite stuff however you want to going forward. But let's go through each one of these cells. So the first area we're going to work at, we're going to work on mindset always. So this is going to be Myos 2. So I am, that information you can find in the Myos 2 I am section. Pretty simple. Life is, same scenario, Myos 2, life is, that section. Now, again, if you're revising some things and you want to go ahead and tweak this up and kind of pull some different information here, don't feel that you can't do that. This has got to serve you. So if you want to freelance a little bit, add some things, maybe there's some things that you did not write in Miles 2 that you want to suck into here, please feel free to do so. Same thing with people are, same thing with business is. What's most important to you? That's going to be your moving towards values or slash emotions that you want to feel slash experience. That will also be found in Miles 2. Our 10x identity, that is now going to be module 4, ultimate me, life and business, where you went ahead and did your 10x mindset, 10x vision, 10x energy, 10x rituals. So this is where you kind of suck all that in and create a narrative or bullet points, however you want to do it, on the ultimate version of you. So that's part number one. Part number two, my morning power question, you're going to get a lot of that in Myos 2 internal dialogue. But again, don't be afraid to sit there and put some other things in there. Like for me, and again, this is my fourth quarter of 2019. So again, I'll update this. Execute my Magellan Morning 8 now, lead by example, uncomfortable equals growth, tell the truth to yourself every day, respect your body and health, live by the Magellan Core 4. So those are my phrases, statements that I have now. Will I also have in there some other things depending on the day, right? So I would also encourage you to put some tactical phrases in there. So maybe, for example, you have a big prospect meeting coming up today, right? So I'd like you to put that in there and say, make sure you rock star out meeting with Joe Lucas today, or what has to happen for me to get the yes from Joe today. Again, don't be afraid to freelance a little bit and ad lib depending on the day. Where you get some ideas, again, you can have anything you want here. I would go to Module 4 and look at my ultimate me, life, and business. And in there, there's a question. How do you see yourself inside of your business with your new Core 4? So I'd have you kind of write a little narrative on that, wherever your inspirational happy places are, bucket list, whatever's going to work for you, right? Do it. And again, don't be afraid to go ahead and put some tactical visualizations in there. So going back to our previous example, let's say you're having a prospect meeting and you want to get the yes, visualize you being in control of that meeting. Visualize yourself asking great questions. Visualize yourself getting the yes, right? So again, feel free to freelance that. Next, how I help people. In Module 7, there's a question. Why should your target market hire you? So again, information there. You may want to tweak up the narrative a little bit to put it in this area. Also, Module 4, we have why should a person hire you? So again, you kind of have the raw material there. So whether you want to articulate in terms of like a paragraph or two, or bullet points or lists, that's your decision. Make sure that it works for you and your quote unquote brain. That's what matters most, right? Why I deserve success? You'll also find that in module number 4. Very simple question. Where do I find success, right? So again, the raw material is right in there. Now, definition of failure, you can start by looking at Myos 2. When I get a no, what do you say to yourself? But don't be afraid to also write in there. Like for me, I have find it right here. I know I have it in here somewhere. Here it is. My definition of failure. I must fail every day with my marketing. There's no failure, only results. I only fail if I die. I only fail if I do not learn why I failed, right? So those are mine. But again, put anything you want in there that serves you. This is your work. I'm just giving you some examples. Um, Definition of success, Miles 2, when I get a yes. Miles 4, again, why you deserve it. And also, my frame on this is I want to control this. So for me, what I want to do is like I've got 3 statements in there. Knowing I give myself permission to have it all, knowing that I lead with my Magellan Core 4, knowing I live with my Magellan Core 4. So I'm always going to bring it back, at least for me, to the Core 4, our philosophy, our baseline philosophies. That works well for me. And I also can control that process. So again, whatever works for you is fine. I will always go back to the statement. This has to work for you, not work for me. Last couple sections here. Strategic business goals. So these are just your 1 year goals that you'll get in module 6. So whatever they are, 2 or 3 of them, you pull them out here. Same thing on the personal side. What are your personal goals? You also might find these buried in the personal development section when you did the PD plan and budget. So just kind of look around in your plan that you did in Fort Lauderdale. And again, we're not looking for, so let me be very clear. What I want on these boards are the must, the MUST, not I'd like to, it'd be nice to. These boxes here you're committing to. You're going to go to war with. You're going to have those days when you got to win ugly. So only once I don't want to. I'm not looking for how many. I want them to be the most meaningful ones. Then we come down to again in this example Q1, right? Q1. So this quarter's business goals, action. So goals. So if I have a goal of X revenue, let's say I want to do $1 million revenue. Let's say I have 1 million to 1,200,000 revenue goal, 1 year goal, strategic goal. Well, then what would be a good range in the quarter? So I would not recommend that you go ahead and just put, divide by 4, taking consideration momentum, downtime, where you are in your business. And so the business goals will break down. So every one of these in my perfect goals, so everything up in the strategic area here is going to get broken down to here. In addition to, you might have some actions and outcomes, things that are not really, let's say top line goals, but need to get done. So, for example, you might say, hey, one of the goals is to go ahead and do segmentation, right? So we may want to write that in there. So what you're going to do when you look at your goals, you look at your action items, things like that you wrote in module 6. What you're going to do is just kind of break that down. Same thing on the personal side. Don't be afraid to bullet out everything into the sub goals, things like that. I'd only ask you to make it measurable. So do not write, um, you know, be better at something or do more of, right? I don't want that verbiage in there because basically I don't know how to measure that. So everything here, I need it to be either checked off, X, I got this done, as in this, do segmentation, check, right? Statement. Or I want it highly measurable. So either way is fine, both business and personal. Last section here, your business development actions for the quarter are going to be found in module 9. So whatever you're going to do from referrals to optimization to events, whatever it is you're going to do, you're going to go ahead and bullet them out here in a series of measurable deliverables. Same thing on the personal development side. Again, What are we doing in terms of mind body? Reading, consuming, podcasts, books, conferences, event. Hey, we're going to have a killer event end of January. Business mastery in Orlando. You may want to go check that out. So there are some things. This is where you want to go ahead and really bullet out with as much clarity as possible what I need to get done over the next first quarter in terms of making me a better version of myself. Again, keyword here is actions. See that word there, actions. So these are the tasking that you do. Same thing on the business development side, actions. Okay. So and then the marketing and branding again, actions. So what's the list? And I think of it as like a list, a punch list. Do this, do this, do this, do this. Right. So marketing and branding. Number one, maybe you need to hire a marketing consultant. Number two, maybe you need to have your website looked at, right? Number three, maybe you need to engage in a podcast. Number four, number five, like I want it to be checklist or tangible, measurable. Okay. Then the last piece, strategic projects. These are things that we want to track for the quarter, but I'm never going to call them like a top line goal. Clean the office, get organized, maybe clean the car, research, first quarter, renewal time, vacation, right, trip, whatever. So things that are going to be meaningful to you both personally and professionally, but they are not like 1 year goals. They're not top line, So there's just like a little, think of it like a little catch all. I mean, I've seen clients put in here, clean out garage, buy first new custom suit, things that will go in here that we're not going to elevate them to a major thing. So just whatever doesn't fit in the other boxes, put them here. This is your catch-all. All right. So that literally how you create a quarterly game plan. Now, for some of you new members who've never created this before, it will take you a couple of quarters to dial this in. So don't get caught up in, it has to be right the first time. The other thing I would say, because obviously I'm going to push this out before Thanksgiving, is don't be afraid to sit there and make December like part of your Q1. So, in other words, I'm giving you permission to create, in essence, a 4 month quarter behaviorally to take December. Because what I don't want to do, especially if you're in Fort Lauderdale, if you joined us that Friday morning as we did our goal setting, we watched the sun come up. A lot of you sat and I watched this and you stopped writing and you just I want to say contemplated things and made decisions and made declarations to yourself. So we don't want to wait 6 weeks or 5 weeks to now execute on those declarations. So I do want you to feel free to take December, throw it into Q1, make it like a 4 month quarter where it makes sense. And that way you start repping out the habits, the beliefs, the behavior, the mindset, everything to give yourself the best opportunity to have a great 2020. All right. So thank you for coming down to Fort Lauderdale. Any questions? I will be monitoring both the workplace board and chat. So if you have some specific, please feel free. In addition, we're going to have a minimum of 2 ACA calls. Ask Coach anything. No, excuse me. Zoom coaching cast, same thing almost. So we'll have a couple of Zoom coaching casts in the upcoming Fridays. Make sure you plug into those, and I will probably schedule maybe one, if not two others, between now and January 5th, so that there's more than enough time to support you and answer your questions. Okay. So with that being said, 1, 2, 3, off we go. Reach out with any questions, and I'll see you all very soon.